And it looks like we are live. So, hey, thank y'all for being here. I'm Steve, K5ATA. And, well, before we get started, let's go around the room and see who we got here today. So, I have Adam, you're on there first. So, hit it and tell them who you are. I mean, they obviously know who you are already, but there might be one or two who don't. So,
Yeah. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Adam. I have a YouTube channel called K6ARK Portable Radio. I love building antennas, kits, radios, and other radio-related circuits from scratch, and dragging those out to the wilderness to play radio, particularly from mountaintops for summits on the air. So if you're interested in that, look up my call sign, K6ARK, and you'll find my channel and hopefully enjoy the stuff there.
yeah,
So
and
thanks for having us tonight, Steve.
you're pretty famous among the Padawans. You're that mountain climbing guy who talks to kids on the radio. So,
Indeed.
yep. Thank you for always being there for that. And then,
Absolutely.
Tom, you're up next, brother.
Hey everyone, it's Tango Oscar Mike, N3WS. I don't have mountains here in Pennsylvania, so I do POTA activations in the state parks around me. I go out for hikes in the different types of weather and practice a little survival skills there, setting up shelters and stuff. But yeah, enjoy it.
Sweet. And Mike the Texan.
Howdy, everyone. They call me Texas Mike.
You picked that up pretty quickly.
There's many people up here. My name is Mike. I'm a ham radio operator. And my channel is K&MRD Radio Stuff, most creative name out there. And I do a lot of portable stuff, hence these radios behind me. And I may have just bought another radio. I needed to buy myself a congratulatory present for my move and my promotion. So instead of just taking all of my bonus money and putting it in the bank, I took a small portion of it. I may have purchased a radio, but I'm going to keep that a secret until I get it.
Oh, that's not right. You can't do that.
I know. I'm very evil. But yeah.
Sweet. T.O.
Are we gonna place bets on what it is?
Yeah, I think we should.
You can.
The winner
Do
gets
whatever
it.
you want.
He may not admit what it is either way. So
I don't know. It could be an Elecraft. It could be a GMRS radio. It could be a CB. Who knows?
Hanging out with Ape.
Who
Huh?
knows? Yeah. You know, it's. I know his call sign on GMRS, or I will know his call sign because he hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah, you got to pass that tough test.
Yeah.
So, T.O.
Yeah, how's my internet? Is it usable?
Yeah, you seem good.
Okay.
I can't make it out. What's going on?
Well, you guys are all stuttering and blocky over here because I'm doing a video upload for an upcoming project that I'm working on. And I'm Steve, KM9G, temporarily offline YouTube channel. And I do vintage computers and ham radio stuff. And I do contesting and all kinds of other fantastic stuff. And today, ATA and I were volunteer examiners who put on our VE hats.
So, yep, and thank you for being there, T.O. And, well, we're going to get Red first, then we're going to come back to that because I got a shout-out or two to make for that one. And Izzo's in there. Izzo, you're in the wrong room, buddy. You're supposed to be in the Zoom. Come on. All right, Red, you're up.
Hey there. Name is Charlie, and November Juliet 7 Victor. My channel is Red Summit RF, and I do a lot of soda. That's what I do. A lot of soda. A lot of other stuff mixed in there. I usually try to kind of feature something when I'm doing soda, and I do a POTA now and then and do some builds and stuff like that. So I don't know, just try to have fun and kind of share what I know about ham radio, which isn't that much really.
So you know how to have fun with it. That's what really matters there. So
Yeah.
Back to the quick shout out. So I saw him in here, Steve KO4AFL. Quick shout out to him and the Glarg group because they set up. You know, I've got the Padawans. I've got 13 of them taking their test in person tomorrow, but 2 of them got quarantined and weren't going to be able to take that test. So he didn't miss a beat. He set up a private session for them, and T.O. and I, among several other folks whose names have already escaped me, but we're in there and administered that test, and so 2 more Padawans have passed their ham radio test. So I don't know if anybody in the chat or anybody in the Zoom has taken a test with the online deal, but it was I was impressed. I'll be honest with you. You know, it was. I guess I wasn't sure what to expect, and aside from the technical issues of one of the kids trying to use a school issued Chromebook, so they ran into some technical snafus there. Other than that, man, it was a smooth process. So, you know, if you have not, or if you're looking to upgrade or whatever, and don't want to wait for the local club or whatever, definitely look them up because it was a great session. So, Steve and everybody else in the group, thank y'all for that. And thank you to everybody who helped provide radios, because tomorrow I get to start handing radios out to kids. So, you know, I gave the first one out. Oh, there's one, Caitlin. She was in there. And, I knew that, but I remembered the who for the call sign and couldn't remember the first name, Caitlin. Sorry about that. But, yeah, tomorrow I got to hand out one radio last week, and then I get to have, hopefully 15 more of them go out tomorrow. So, for all those of you who, you know, helped get the Fang Gang going there, appreciate it, and know that they will be in kids' hands tomorrow, and we still have about 5 or 6 more that hopefully will be ready to go in the next week or two. So, but thank y'all for that. And what else? Anybody got anything cool going on before we get to talking about cool tools you like to use and whatnot? Do anything cool? No.
Well, on my channel, I'm doing a giveaway for hitting 500 subscribers. I'll be giving away 3 T-shirts from the Ham Radio 2.0 store.
You should give away Mike's radio.
Yeah, take your pick. There's a Retivus back there. That's a Yaesu HT. You got a TYT MD 2017. Yeah.
So yeah, in fact, I've been meaning. You know, I recently hit 5,000 subscribers, and I was the same. I'm like, I got to give something away, but then I've just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I hadn't had time to breathe, much less figure out what I'm going to give away. So I will get to that.
You were sick for a while too. So.
I was sick for a while, and then got busy with the 2-job thing, and still busy with the 2-job thing, but I'm at least having fun doing it. So, but all right. So, cool tools you like to use. Anybody got? I kind of started off thinking web tools just because that's what mine is, but it certainly does not have to be any kind of web-based tool, and it can be, you know, anybody that's out in the. Oh, there you go. Izzo's finally going to join us. Anybody out in the chat who has one, feel free to throw it out there. We'll take a look at it too. So,
well, I can talk about tools. Being a tool, and being the Tool is one of my favorite bands. I need another one because I find myself having to change them out. But Ratcheting Crimpers, specifically for Anderson power poles and coax. I make my own. I don't make the coax, but I crimp on my own connectors and everything because I'm always doing something. I need a jumper. Maybe I have 100 feet of coax and I need a smaller piece, so I'll cut it and put on another freaking connector or something or whatever. But I need another crimper because I'm always putting power poles on things. But it's such a pain in the butt to take the 2 minutes to take the dies off and replace them. But it's hard to find a good crimper online that's not either ridiculously expensive or crappy. I've purchased one from Amazon for like $30, and it didn't crimp for crap. And then Lowe's actually sells ratcheting crimpers. They're Klein, I think, is the brand. It's a really nice ratcheting crimper, but my dies didn't fit it. So I brought that back, but that was only like $24. So I was really geeked to get it, but then it didn't crimp my power poles. So I need to get another one, but I'm not about to spend like, DX Engineering and PowerWorks and thing. PowerWorks, I think theirs is like $60, which is, I paid $35 for mine at a Hamfest, and it works great. But some of these companies want like $150, $300 for a crimping set, and it's like, no, that's ridiculous. So, but that's pretty much my number one go-to tool that I use in the shack, other than my soldering iron, which is that thing right there. That's a Zeny, Zeny. It was like $35 on Amazon, and I love it. It works fantastic. It's got, you can control the the temperature and everything. It came with a bunch of different tips. It heats up super quick. It's awesome. So it's $35. So
Steve, I don't know if you can enable screen sharing. I actually use a fishing swage crimper for building swaged, fishing wire and heavy monofilament leader assemblies.
You should be able to hit the screen
cool.
share.
Yeah, I got it. Let me see here if I can bring this up. Hopefully you guys can see that, but this is basically what I use to swage power poles, and it's just something I had left over from fishing, from offshore fishing, and from actually use it to repair spring-loaded camming devices for rock climbing, to replace trigger wires on those for the retractable part of it. But works really well, and they're actually reasonably cheap. They don't have interchangeable jaws, and they're just round crimps, but they work awesome for things like power poles and other similar wire connectors like that.
Yeah, I had an old pair of crimpers that I ran into the same problem as Mike, and I tried to buy the jaws at a ham fest to go into the crimpers, and they just never did fit right, and the ratchet wouldn't go all the way down, so I finally said screw it. And
yeah,
I same thing. I think I paid $30 or something like that for them, and they work well enough. But you're right, that power poles in general are a lifesaver. I just
Yes.
love them. So,
power pole the world.
Amen, brother. So, who's up next? Who wants to go?
I have an online tool.
Hit it, bro.
Let's see. Let me share my screen, huh? Let's see here. How about there? So there's a couple here. This one right here, this online voice recorder, I use this to do audio tests. I click this play button right here, or record button, and then it just kind of records my audio, and I pause it and I play it back. It's just an easy way to test my audio. I'm not all fancy and all that, so that's what I do. And the same website, I use this page to change some of my WAV files. So I get a lot of WAV files when I'm recording my audio, and they're too big. So I change them to MP3s to upload them and stuff like that and move them around. And so this is a good tool to change the audio of all my files. So here's a couple for you.
That works. Cool beans. Who else has got something? I'll go ahead and throw mine in there. Let me see if I can get the right button here. There we go. It's a website.
Mike, that looks so good.
And if you've not been
Mike.
to this guy's website, Adventure Radio, let me scroll down here. He's got a bunch of different tools on here, but the one, if I can make it go, there we go, is the log analyzer. And I'm just going to hit the sample so I don't have to try to load one in. But a lot of times you see people with these cool maps of where they talk to and whatnot, and that's what this one does. And you can you can toggle call signs on, call signs off. I always like to have a visual kind of representation for where I talk to, especially with the Padawans and stuff. That's a lot of times having that to show kiddos and show people, especially with the sun cycle going to be picking up here, how far you can get. That's by far one of my favorite tools, or I guess I should call it toys. So I'll slide that out of y'all's way so I'm not blocking your face anymore, since Mike apparently was eating. So, and Radio Runner's in here, I noticed. I'm going to interrupt in the middle. And Radio Runner's been joining our Monday Night Ham Radio stuff every now and then. So if you have not subscribed to Radio Runner, you definitely need to head over there and give him a sub. And yeah, I can't really say I give radios to kids. I just kind of funnel them. Y'all give radios to kids. So, every now and then folks pony up radios. I mean, Adam sent a box full of them. And, they come into me and I just charge them up and get them a basic program. And when they get a call sign, it's theirs. So that's kind of our thing. So, I'm just kind of the middleman, I guess. But, yep, that's the plan. So
You're the radio pusher.
I'm the pusher. It's kind of like that intro drug, once the gateway, once they get that first fang, it's like, oh, I can do so much more with, start getting them. So who's up
Great
next?
Blind Melon song, by the way, too, the pusher.
I'm actually going to head on out of here. My internet connection's so bad I can't even see you guys anymore.
So, well, we're just as good looking as we used to be.
That's one of the reasons why I'm leaving.
That scares me. So, all right, Tio.
Well,
Appreciate
glad you got a
being here.
chance to see me.
And
Hi, Tio.
again, thanks for helping out tonight with the Padawans getting tested, bud.
Yeah, anytime.
So, and who wants to go next? Anyone? Well, we can just talk radio stuff then.
Hey, I got a good one here. This is a really cool actual physical tool that unfortunately was discontinued. It's the Leatherman Squirt ES4, and it's the electrician specific one, which has wire strippers, and it's a tiny little pocket sized tool. Fortunately, I bought one of these before they disappeared from the market. You can find them on eBay, but you can see the price on this thing. The original retail price was like 30 or 40 bucks. So although if you can find one of these at a reasonable price, get one. They're well worth it. Don't spend 75 or 190 bucks on one of these. That's just stupid. But what they do still have are the standard ones with just pliers and wire cutters. And the reality is, yeah, wire strippers are kind of handy, but when you're in the field, you can deal pretty good stripping wire with just the blade on the knife. Yeah. So these little pocket tools are awesome, and they're fantastic for portable ops. So I highly recommend these little tools.
I've got a couple Leathermans, and I've got a Gerber that I like really well. Yeah. I love that Gerber.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you're right. Wire strippers. In fact, I can't find the wire strippers in the classroom right now. I don't know where they've disappeared to. So, I've been having to do all the wire stripping with the pocket knife, and the kids are like, I can do it. I'm like, no, you can't. I'll do this part. So, something about giving the kiddo.
I got another tool.
Go for it.
All right, let's see if we share again. This one's an interesting one. It's really inexpensive. It's a battery voltage alarm meter. I use this for my LiPo. When I go, I'm still kind of a LiPo guy, although I'm transitioning to LifePo because there's life in that. But
you got a Denko?
I have a Denko. Yeah, I've been using it, but
Okay,
it's only a 1 amp hour. So if I'm out there for more than
that should last all day for you.
No, it lasts about an hour and a half. So.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, here there's like $3 to $4 for one of these things, and you can set it to for the alarm to set at when the LiPo drops to the critical voltage, so that you don't ruin the battery. So
I've got a bunch of those too. Yeah,
you got them too, Adam. Yeah,
excellent recommendation for a great little tool. Those things are sweet, and they cost almost nothing, and they're super handy as just you plug it into the charging port. The little 4-pin charging port on a 3 series LiPo, and it reads out your voltage of each cell and the pack, and it, like Charlie said, you can program it to give a really obnoxious loud beep when it runs too low.
So that is a cool one. I've not seen one of those, so I'll have to dig into that. And yeah, Steve in the chat says he has a tool, coffee, and I've been sucking it down like crazy this week. So,
well, going back to Leathermans and that kind of stuff, I have this one from SOG. It's a nice little multi-tool, but what I liked about it is it has a slot for bits. You can't even see it. It has a slot for bits in the top, so you can put in all kinds of different.
Oh, so it just fits right on the end of where it folds over.
Yeah, it goes in there. There's magnets that hold it in place so it doesn't come out. But if you carry a few bits with you, sometimes the screwdrivers and stuff on these are a little hard to use. But I got this. I can't remember where I got this. It was pretty inexpensive. But yeah, I carry about 6 of these bits, different ones, and it actually works really well. But it's been a pretty good tool. I mean, it's not light though. It's a little bit heavier than some of the other tools. So.
Stupid had to come say hi to Uncle Mike. So. That's how you get a stupid.
Is his name really? Is that like the censored version of the jerk?
That's the name Jerica and I gave her. It's my wife's dog. She calls her Darcy, but she's kind of. I mean, come here, stupid.
Darcy Parnell.
Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. I don't know
Darcy Parnell is from The Kids in the Hall.
So now it's Pride and Prejudice, Darcy. So we're talking. Yeah, we're talking about you, dog. I got the stink eye.
I could figure out why you talking about Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, she thought we were just in here talking Pride and Prejudice. No.
No.
Yeah, that's where this is going.
Yeah, that's Mr. Darcy.
Why can I not share my screen?
You're not worthy.
You should.
And
be
I'm
able
not.
to. You should be able to.
That's
Oh,
because
the
you're
green button
drinking a
says
Coke
share
and you didn't
screen.
offer it to us.
Yeah, you got to hit that button on the bottom there.
Yeah.
You didn't share
Dude,
that.
you get these
that
Cokes at freaking Walmart for like $1.50. They have
That's because you didn't share that
pallets
bottle of
of them.
pop with us.
pallets of them. All right, so since we're sharing tools, this is something that I take with me every single outing I am on. Specifically, this PowerWorks meter. You guys can see it, right?
Yeah.
I've got, let's see, 5 meters that all look like this. 2 of which are in my Go box, and that they look a little bit different. I have 2 others that were on Amazon for like $15. They look exactly like this. None of them are accurate except for this one. They're all off on voltage. They don't count the amp hours right. I mean, they're kind of, for $15, they're okay-ish, but this one is actually accurate. So I highly, highly, highly recommend the PowerWorks watt meter. And since we were talking about power poles earlier, here's the PowerWorks. That's only $45 actually. I might should pick one of those up actually, because I really need another crimper.
Just go ahead and add it to the cart now.
There you go. Hey,
on,
Mike,
you can
is there
do
a
it.
way? Mike, is there a way of making it stopping it from flashing? I really wish. Is there a way so it would not flash?
The meter?
Yeah. Do you know of a way of?
What do you mean? Just cycling between the?
Yeah, the cycling drives
No.
me crazy. It just.
No, that's
I
they
love
all
it.
do
It's
that.
important. Yeah, I know. I understand. It's important for us to have that data, but the cycling just drives me crazy. I only want to know what I need to know, and
See, I like to know the current. I like that it cycles. I like to know the current draw. I like to know the amp draw. I like everything about them. So
to each his own. Yeah.
He's a battery guy. That's why.
Yeah, he's.
I am quite the battery nerd. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a battery guy; it's a battery nerd.
But-
Oh yeah.
So
I'm running 40 ampere hours. Listen, if this hot air from this guy here blows through 40 ampere hours, I got a problem. There's a bigger problem.
That's
so.
the most I've gone through was about 14 amp hours, and that was I was just running a pile up for about 3 or 4 hours with the 891.
Yeah.
And
That's about what I had. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can take that 40 amp hour Bioenno battery, and Jerica and I can go 3 or 4 day camping trip.
Right.
And the whole trip, I don't ever have to plug it back in again. Now, granted, we're not on the air constantly 3 or 4 days, but we're on the air a good bit, and it lasts.
Well, the guys from Bioenno, Steve, will tell you. It runs a flat, and then all of a sudden it's a fast drop. So that's why I'll sit at like 13.3 for a long time. And all of a sudden it's 12.9, which is still good. But then 12.9 is sort of like my warning of get ready.
Yeah. Once it gets kind of in that 12-ish
Yeah,
range, you're
because
going
really
to run out pretty quick.
12.8 is really your, But again, it all depends what mode, how much power you're running. A lot of factors. Are you done for the day?
Yeah.
I need to plunk down the money for PowerWorks because I've got the cheap knockoff meter, and
They're horrible.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
horrible. I mean, they'll get you in the ballpark, but
No,
I need to
never knew
know
that. Right.
precision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat asked Adam, "What microphone are you using?" And as I looked at your picture, I laughed. You look like you're in like a call center.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like a telemarketer advertise. Like,
He's
"Hi."
selling insurance, isn't he?
This is Jake with State Farm.
Good game, ham radio and outdoors. Please hold.
Have you tried turning it off and on?
So these are just some cheapo things I got on Amazon. It's got the mic built into the little earbud thing, and it keeps kind of wanting to fall out of my ear, but it's small and light. I was thinking about hacking it into like a KX2 Vox microphone, like I did with that folding headset one that is like a little call center headset thing. So
Sweet. Anybody else see anything else in the chat? Somebody said something about Don SKT, his Buddy Pole Power Mini. Not sure what that one is.
That's the charge controller, the
Oh,
solar charge controller. I've not used one of those, but
Not yet.
they look nice. They look really nice.
They do.
Yes.
So
They look
Very
a
nice.
little bit bigger and probably a little bit heavier.
So was
I don't
one of
know,
those
I've not
things
held one.
I'd like to figure out a little bit. I want to put some panels up on top of the camper.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and
Yeah,
I've-
depending on your
depending
application, I
on-
think it's needed.
Depending on what your weight requirements are, or if that matters, I bought a 100-watt solar panel from Rich Solar based off of Will Prowse reviews. If you guys watch Will Prowse, he's all about LifeCo 4 batteries. And it works great. I mean, it's a big metal, you know, it's not like a foldable takeout portable with you type panel, but it was like $80 for a 100-watt panel. It was stupid cheap, and it works great. You'll get about 5 amps out of a 100-watt panel, and it produces perfectly. So
That's pretty good.
that'd be a way to go if
Yeah.
you want it on the cheap.
Yeah.
Or get power film for $1,200.
no,
Yeah.
we'll go the cheap.
Yeah.
And Bioenno just announced they're selling some new solar panels, including a flexible panel now.
Yes.
I just got an
Yeah,
email
I've
from
got
them today.
I've got 4 of the Bioenno panels that I haven't. I did a review video on it, but it was in November and the sun wasn't very high, so I'm going to redo it down here in Texas.
Texas.
I've got the 100, the 60, the 48, and the 28-watt foldable solar panels, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, they have a new 100-watt thin one, you know, that's on the flexible plastic backer, the full-size ones.
Yeah.
So they just have one of those. They just
I
started
haven't
selling
seen
those
that.
recently. So those are the ones that are good for like the tops of camps or campers and stuff.
Nice.
Mm.
As Don just said, he just got the new Bioenno ad with a bunch of new foldable panels. So
Yeah.
I see money being spent in my near future. So
So
My wife
never
always
stops.
has that garden hose. My wife has that garden hose ready to support
Yeah.
me and say,
Gee.
"You liar, you."
So I've got another favorite tool. This one's a soldering tool, and as you guys probably know, I like building very small circuit boards
Oh,
with
geez.
very small components. So if
Is
you
that your new
pull
radio?
no, that's not a radio. That's just a capacitive touch key. But if you pull a penny out of your pocket and look at the numbers on the penny, and you can see that many of the components on this circuit are the size of one of the numbers in the date on the penny. So imagine trying to solder those with a soldering iron. It's just flat out not possible. And so here's another example. This one actually is a radio.
Oh.
This is the next iteration of the micro pixie, or the choking hazard, as it's affectionately known. This one, yep, there you go, Mike.
No way.
I don't know if the rest
No
of the crew
way.
can see that, but it's this choking hazard is includes an audio filter, but the tool that is key for all of this, and I'm not necessarily promoting this specific model. I have a cheap Chinese version that's a hot air rework / soldering iron station, but the key is hot air, or if working with solder paste and using an oven or modified toaster oven to melt the solder into place. But really the hot air is nice because you can watch the components and make sure they stay in place, manipulate them back into place with tweezers. And yes, Don, those are 0204 size components for the most part on there. So yeah, the hot air rework station is a fantastic tool for microcircuit design and or builds and just repairing stuff, modifying my MTR 3B from 30 meters to 17 meters for the one band module in there. The hot air made that so much easier. So yeah, hot air rework stations, as you start doing more kits and start building smaller things, particularly surface mount components, are a fantastic tool. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I bought one very similar to that. It's not the same one, but it's very similar quite a while ago. And I thought I'd never used the hot iron thing. I mean, not the blower, but I've used it a lot. I mean, heat shrink and yeah, like to take some components off and just heat them instead of using your soldering iron. It's cool.
Yeah, that's true. I use it
I
a
have
lot
one
for heat shrink as well. For
Go
sure.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I have one. I had one up too. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I used Adam as an example with the kid who was having trouble soldering. So he said it's just too tight to get that soldering iron down there. I was like, it's like the full on. MFJ sent us a bunch of learn to solder kits.
Yep.
And I mean it's big. And he's like, I just can't get that soldering iron down there. I was like, oh, just give me a minute. I'll show you something. But
yeah, I had one up too. That a soldering tool up. It was a coincidence that I had it up at the same time as Adam did. But let me share that one real quick. And a lot of you probably have this one or a variation of it. But I bought this and I use it a lot because you can. It's so hard to just kind of get that board and to work with it unless you're holding it with something. And this one I like it because you can flip back and forth both sides. And I don't know if any of you guys have one or something similar, but that's a great tool and it's inexpensive, only $10-12 or whatever. So
yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up because during one of the team builds on Josh's channel, I guess he had one. I meant to buy one that night and I forgot to buy it. So now you've reminded me I need to go spend $13. So Jason, what's up? Glad you can make it.
Hey man, sorry I'm late. I was doing a presentation for a club, but
You're good.
I came in to Adam's presentation. And I'm like, well, I don't have anything further to say. I mean, you guys are already at the
Oh,
top.
come on.
So, no, you weren't in here at the beginning, so I'll go ahead and I got to brag all I can anyway. 2 more Padawans passed their test tonight. They took it with Glarg, and it was cool.
Good.
I got to be one of the VEs in there and sign on it. So
That is awesome. And Glarg still gives I'll call them Padawan since you do. They still give free testing to those folks, right?
yeah, kids, and if I remember correctly, and there are a couple of them in here, kids, I think, first responders, and maybe active duty. I don't know if retired military or not.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, they give.
That's
They
cool.
give them out free, and so that was cool.
That's definitely worth mentioning. So
with the couple of them were on the quarantine, and they were going to be bummed out that all their friends got to take the test tomorrow, kind of thing. And I was like, no, we're going to get this done. And Steve, or Jack, if I'm saying it correctly, he shot me an email and said, let's get this done, and got it set up and done in a day. So it was awesome.
That's awesome.
So
that's great.
So what kind of tools you got? What do you like to use? Not to put you on the spot or anything since you just got here, but you're on the spot.
Well, I don't know if I should say. I guess I'll go ahead and say. I've got toroids. How's that?
Toroids.
Toroids. I've got a F240 Mix 31 toroid. No, I've got two of them. Got 2 toroids. How's that?
There you go.
So, been having a lot of trouble with my IC705 connecting to the computer via micro USB, and reached out to Hayden, and because he's done more with the 705 than I have, or he's done more videos with it at least than I have, and he's like, "Oh, try this," and it turns out there's some chatter on one of the groups.io groups about how the theory is that there's very poor shielding in that built into the case of that radio, and you have to wrap the heck out of your micro USB cable. So we're going to try that, and Hayden and I are going to get on my live stream on Sunday and talk about that. But I got to brag for a minute because I reached out to, and this is partially Mike's fault. I reached out to Kevin at BioInno. Yeah, no, you'll like it. You'll like it. I got my Pack 10 today, by the way. I reached out to Kevin at BioInno, and I said, hey, I've got 2 BioInno batteries that I purchased at Hamcation the last time they actually had Hamcations, about a year ago. And I said, I'm looking to get a solar controller for it. And I'm not sure which charger and solar controller. Yeah, I have a charger for these batteries, and I think I left it in my freaking trailer at the hunting lease, Mike, because I can't find it. It's not in my stuff here. So I've got these 2 batteries here with no charger. So I reached out to Kevin at BioInno. I said, hey, I need to get a solar panel. And I said, for doing Parks in the Air. And I told him which batteries I had. And I also need to get a second charger. What do you suggest? And he's like, what's your shipping address? And I'm like, well, that's not really what I asked you, but okay. So I gave my shipping address in today. I get these 2 boxes. I can't show you how big they are in the camera right now. I get these 2 boxes that are 2 foot tall by 10 foot wide by 2 foot deep. and it's just stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I guess I got to make some videos now. Holy cow. So, awesome dude out there, which I already knew that, but my tools that I have right now is a crap ton of solar panels, batteries, chargers, and stuff like that from BioInno that I'm going to take great pleasure in going out and using in the field and seeing how well they work, which I already know they work well, but I just want to show it off on video. So
they work better in Texas.
I bet they do.
Everything works better in Texas.
The sun shines differently in Texas.
Yeah, I bet they do. So it's I was like I thought I'd get this box with like a little charge control or like a fold out panel about yay big and whatnot, and I'm just like, oh my, what did you do? I emailed him. I was like, dude, you went above and beyond it. I said, if you need any of this stuff back, let me know, because
otherwise a guy in Mississippi you can send.
I do,
to.
yeah.
Actually, a truck can come up to Westbrook and just happen to fall off the truck.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to be up to see you in a couple months, Izzo, so I'll have some of it with me.
We're going to make some plans for you. We've already talked.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I have already, and Rob. So
yeah, I think you're going to be there before me. I think it's more like the end of May.
You're all welcome.
Before I get
up
there.
Are all welcome. We'll take care of it.
Are you specifically going to Connecticut, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to Newington for some stuff for the other gig.
Of course you are. Yeah,
and then,
that's
we're
right.
going to take the roundabout.
Okay.
I'm going to drag the camper and go wherever I feel like. But
if I have the opportunity, because my plan is I'm going to go do Parks on the Air with the Ham Radio Adventures Club, and then I'm going to run up, and then from there, and we're going to be there for like 4 days, and then from there, I'm going to drive out there, and then from there, it's about 7 hours up to Long Island. Excuse me. I'm going to go hang out in Long Island with Bob from R Finder for 2 or 3 or 4 days, something like that. But then it's like only 2.5 hours from Long Island to Newington. And I got to check if ARRL HQ is open, and especially if Dave Minster is there, I'm going to go up to HQ and get a tour of the facility, because I've never been up there. But I don't know what their schedule is these days with closed downs and everything.
Yeah, I know that right now we're like the Teacher Institute that happens every summer and stuff, that's going to be done virtually again this year. Because apparently, I'm not up there now, but apparently lockdowns are a lot more serious up there than...
That was my understanding as well.
Down here in the South, they don't... whatever, man.
We've got cleaner air down here. That's what it is.
So, but no, it's definitely a different world up there. I mean, I'm on a Zoom call this morning with one of them, looking out his window behind him, and it's like a foot of snow on the ground, and I'm like, okay.
That's what we got.
Yeah. But so yeah, lots of solar powered and batteries tools upcoming. Looking really forward to it. So, but
very cool.
You've got my tools too.
I do. Yeah, you left your toolbox at the Deerly, so it's in the back of my truck right now. I need to get with you, Mike. We need to get together sometime before the end of February.
Are you down there all of February?
Yep. Yeah, we're going home 2 weeks from Saturday. So
I'll have to drive down like early Sunday or something. I'm off Fridays and Sundays, so.
Well,
I can meet you
right?
Yeah, right now I am.
That's not far from Houston.
No. Mm-mm. I can meet you halfway. We can meet up the battleship up there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go plug.
I already activated the battleship, but
no, you got to radiate the battleship. Go ahead and hook the G90 to it.
All right, yeah,
to the anchor.
There's several parks up there around that area.
Man.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm moving another 40 miles north of where I am now. I'll be in Huntsville.
Did you confirm that?
No, the movers just picked up my stuff in Michigan today. They're going to be bringing it. They'll be delivering it awesome. Saturday. So I officially will be out of this hotel.
Well, you should. It should take you like a weekend to get your Kilo Award on Huntsville State Park, which is right there off of I-45.
I know, it's in my backyard.
So, yeah, exactly. Awesome. You're just like throw an antenna over your fence in the backyard and activate.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of like trying to get a kilo in one day. Like just spending all day at a park. Like
it sounds like something Adam would do.
I don't know if that's possible, but I've done about 100 QSOs an hour.
One night we were figuring out if you can do it, just do the math. You do 100 contacts, 10 activations. There's your 1,000.
No, I want one activation, 1,000 contacts.
In a 24-hour time period?
I don't want to be out there for 24 hours, so it'd have to be fast.
He's gonna
It'd have to be like
10.
nonstop all day,
Yeah.
just pile up crazy.
You'd have to work a lot of different bands too, I think.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some
To get it
CW.
to get
and-
unique.
I got a DX
unique
Commander. I
context.
push a button and I'm on a different band. Who cares?
and you have a bio battery.
He's
I have many,
yeah.
and I have
solar-
a
and
Denko,
solar
and I
power.
have solar.
Policy.
Dude,
and you have a bottle- and you have a
can
bottle
do
of
that.
Coke. You have a bottle of Coke, man. You're all set.
How does that work? Can you count the same station on multiple bands as multiple contacts?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And if you
So-
bring a friend with you,
I don't have
Yeah.
any friends down here.
yeah, yes, you do.
I don't know
You're on
anybody.
I-45. Make one.
Call a friend from Connecticut to come down, and then we hit every single band.
That's what Matt from HRA, when we go out to the East Coast, I wish I could remember the name of that place. But we're gonna go out to East Coast in April. He wants to take I think a DX Commander, and he's gonna take his 1.3 kW amp. And he's like, I want to get a kilo while we're there. And I'm like, you go for it, buddy. You do that.
Once you get the generator.
Right. Yeah. He's got a
Yeah,
generator
no
too. So.
But how cool would that be? Like the
Very
most
cool.
I've got, I got like 300 QSOs, but about 10 of them were dupes in 3 or 4 hours. Because I went to a park one day. I had like 300 QSOs before I got my kilo, and I was like, maybe I'll go out there for a couple hours and get 100 or so, and put another dent in that. But I was like, you know what? It's nice. I got a pile up going, and it just kept going, and I got
Go
my
into the
kilo
zone.
there. So
Go into the zone. And
yeah,
keep on going.
exactly. So
Love it.
Yeah, but
it gets tiring after a while though, just running a nonstop pile up like that though.
Does.
So
and eventually you're just gonna run out of sheer people that are on the air that day. I mean, it's.
I don't know, dude. POTA's freaking big now. It is.
It really is.
Like it's
Over the years,
it's so
yes.
not.
Yeah.
Like even from like my first when I did it's called my first POTA activation or something like that, and that was just a couple of years ago. POTA was still very new then. Like I'm seeing so many videos on YouTube of guys doing POTA activations now. The web page is always there's always people spotted out there, and there's a lot of hunters. There's a lot of people sitting at
You know what
home.
it is too?
Especially people up north where it's freaking cold and you don't
Right.
want to go
We're
outside.
sitting inside.
Yeah.
I will tell you when I got involved, somebody threw up some analytics of saying what are the best days to hunt and activate, and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and sometimes on Thursdays, we're almost like, don't waste your time, go do something else. I've been off for the last 3 days, or last 2 days. Tuesday, I had fun here in the shack, just hunting. Why go outside? And I'm like, it's Tuesday.
There's always people out there.
And it was
now.
fun
It's
on 20 and
huge.
40 to make
See,
content.
I find Monday.
you
Monday's
know?
the worst day for me on POTA. I don't know what it is, but
But not
Monday
anymore.
evenings.
Parks on the Air now is in. I was just talking to Mike Case before I came down here. W8MSC. He's one of the moderators. He's one of the system admins for POTA. And he was telling me that POTA is in like 24 countries now, I feel.
Yeah, Jason
Like,
Jason
it's-
posted something on the Facebook site. It's incredible now. I love it.
Yeah.
I
That's
love it.
That stretched
huge.
quite a big ways in 5 years. 5 years, right? 2016 is when they
Well,
ARRL.
that was the ARRL.
Right. It was
Right.
actually
POTA's
2017.
17, yeah.
Yeah.
Parks on
That's
the Air
only
isn't
4 years
associated
ago.
with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really taken off, and it's great because those of you who have said like I've heard Mike say before, and I kind of agree with this sentiment. I just don't want to get on from HF from home. It's just kind of boring. Be a hunter. I mean, just go out there and be a hunter. So it kind of gives you a little bit more rejuvenation in your home base station setup instead of just calling CQ and talking to random people and rag chewing.
Jason,
now-
I have been promoted as a club president. I have been promoting get on the air.
Mhm.
And sometimes that gets tiresome.
Yeah.
Because the repeaters are quiet, whether it's D-Star, DMR, whatever, HF. Guys will tell me, but I spin the VFO and I don't hear anybody. Now
Mhm.
I have something to tell them. I have a tool for them. Go to this website. You don't have to submit a log. But guess
No.
what you're going to do? You're going to get on the air. You're going to learn your station's capabilities. You want to play with an antenna. You want to experiment with something new right from your backyard. No stress, low impact. It gets, once again, we're going back to one. You're getting on the air, and it's going to get you excited. And even if you don't, at least you can see all these stations. When you see Tom, you see me, you see Mike, you see any one of us, and it doesn't make a difference who it is. Get on the air and make just call them. Just call them. You don't have to log nothing. The activator is going to do all the work. So now there's really no excuse for not getting on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're talking about. I don't
let
even
me-
want to hear about sunspots because the last few days, the bands have been horrible, and I'm making contacts.
Yeah. You want sunspots?
You don't want the sun. You don't want the sun. If you're working a pile up, you don't want the sunspots up. You're like, I can't hear the stations that are out there right now. Why would I want 1,000 more? So Steve KO4AFL in the chat says that the POTA just got their 9,000th registered account.
Nice.
Cool.
That seems low.
A little bit.
Is that the?
That means there's only 9,000 people that are registered
that
on
may be the
Parks on
POTA. Is
Air.
that the POTA Facebook?
It's got to
or
be
is that the-
activators, though, right?
I think that's activators.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
So
know.
they're talking about worldwide flora fauna versus POTA. So POTA makes it very easy. You go out there, you make 10 contacts. So long as you're in the park and so long as you're using simplex or satellite, you make 10 contacts, you're activated. Flora and fauna has their own set of rules, and I'm not the greatest rule follower in the world.
No.
Shocking.
So
Shocking.
one of their rules, which I find completely insanely idiotic, is that you have to be in the park for at least 2 hours. You have to make 44 contacts. It's like it's 40. It's some random number. I think it's 44 contacts. Which, if you're a How Ridiculous fan, High 44 Club, but if you go out there, I mean, it could take you half an hour to make 44 contacts, and then you just got to sit there for another hour and a half for it to technically count.
That's weird.
That alone, like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. I'd go to Parks on the Air on my lunch break, have a half hour in the car on my radio, get 20 or 30 contacts.
You're not doing it right.
Go
You
back
need
to
at least
work.
2 hours to enjoy it.
No, I don't. Short attention span theater, buddy.
Yeah.
No, Mike is right. You can make 10 contacts in 15 minutes or less, and then guess what? Do what you want to do.
The
the pressure's
it takes me
off.
longer than that to set up the freaking antenna.
All right, so it's 10 minutes to set up, 15 minutes make contacts, 10 minutes take, but you could do, but again, the world's your oyster. Do whatever you want to do.
Right.
That's the fun of POTA. There's
Yeah.
so much flexibility.
Yeah.
That's why I love what Jason and those guys have done. They have given me a rebirth to experiment, play, learn, and share it. I am
Yeah.
so indebted to those guys.
I was actually getting a little burned out. I was doing, besides contests here and there, waiting for the next big contest to come along. I was doing, hunting special event stations and that kind of stuff. Oh, and then when I got into POTA, started hunting POTA, that's what rejuvenated me into HF, really. I mean, every day there was somebody on the air, and then that's what after I hunted for a while, I was like, I want to go do this. I want to go to the park and start doing this. And that's what got me to go outdoors and everything. So yeah, they deserve a ton of credit.
They're starting to fact check me in the chat here.
Starting to fact check.
Well, I just logged into
Jeff
my account.
AA6XA says, show me that time rule. I don't believe it. I'm not about to go look for it. I don't care. I have zero desire to do worldwide flora and fauna. If you want to do it, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
If I hear you, I'll work you. And then another guy says, I think it's 44 contacts over any amount of visits. That's fine, but you still have to make 44 contacts, which shouldn't be that hard, but
Yeah,
they're just kind of silly.
I just logged into my account.
The rules don't have, it says time operating from a reference. There's no time limit that an activator must operate from a reference. There's no time restriction between one activation and a subsequent activation. So they must have removed that requirement at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I was told this by very reliable sources. I've
Yeah.
never looked into flora and fauna
Yeah.
because I was Elmered by one of the admins of POTA.
So was I. I'm very, very blessed. I got
I know 3 of them that lived right around me in Michigan. So yeah, I was.
So on the other end
I
of
was
that
an early adopter of POTA.
On the other end of that spectrum, I was just listening to the radio here today. There was an activator on a summit, and he got 4 contacts via VHF in under a minute. So he was activated in like 30 to 45 seconds for summits on the air.
Jeff's mad at me.
I saw that comment. Yeah. Oh well.
I kind of wonder, and at some point I should do this, is go and do a soda activation that is also a POTA and a WWFF and spot on all three and just see what happens.
God.
So we're going to do something similar to that at the HRA event, and Dawn came along and said that it's called Cape Hatteras National Seashore.
Yeah.
That's a
North
great
Carolina.
spot. You're going to enjoy.
That's where we're going in April. So, but it's an island, so it counts for IOTA. There's like 5 parks on the island, so you got your POTA down, and there's a lighthouse there, so you can do lighthouses on the air as well. So we're gonna hit all 3
Nice.
on that trip.
You might
too.
get your kilo right there.
And actually, too,
Yeah.
and actually, I believe it also counts as there's a program called Beaches on the Air one time that I was looking at, and it's an actual program, Beaches on
Really?
the Air.
Okay.
Yeah, because
You guys need to
Look into that.
my
You better
town
just
beach,
apply for a de-expedition, man.
Yeah.
special call sign.
Craziness that.
But no, yes, who was it? Scott? Somebody in here. Yeah, Scott Lithgow said he was burned out on HF and then found POTA, and that's what I think it does for a lot of people. It also got like my buddy to upgrade. You know, he was a technician, and I had the Padawan radio set up and the spotting page up, and he's like, "Whoa, that guy's where?" And next thing you know, he's upgraded. Now he's out activating parks. So
I've heard a lot of people come by my videos and say that they got interested in HF again because they lived in an HOA, and they're like, I don't care about. I can't put up an antenna. I can't put up a tower. I didn't really even care. And some of them are even saying the same thing, Steve. They're like, I was a technician. I didn't care to upgrade. I can't put up an antenna. But then they discovered what Parks in the Air was, and they're like, oh, now I love HF. So
especially with all the nice lightweight batteries and stuff now. I mean, it's you don't have to lug an RV battery.
Yeah, I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I'm going to be 5,000 feet below everything, and I'm going to see how that works for Parks on the Air.
That I heard you say that in a video a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, that would be fun. I think that would
be interesting to see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna what's gonna.
Just get yourself a 160 meter infed half wave, and just before you start down, just tie it to a rock and take it down with you all the way. There you go.
Charlie, I'm gonna give you a video idea. I'm gonna give you a content. You know how some guys will drive to the park and we speed it up in our content. You could ride the mule going down.
Yeah,
that'll be the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Definitely bring an antenna you can run 40, 60, and 80 on, because you're going to need that shorter range, more vertical propagation.
And VIS.
I don't know, man. I wanted to go light. It's a backpacking trip, 3 days, so I was just gonna take the MTR 3B. So if
well, at least you got 40.
Got 40, yeah.
I saw. I think it was Jill did a video a couple years ago where he was in a valley, and he had an 80 meter. He was going for Envis, and he was struggling, man. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Maybe it'll bounce off all the rocks in the Grand Canyon.
I'm going to be down there, and I'm not going to have really anything to do except for taking the Grand Canyon. So I'll be sitting there. I'll have plenty of time to try it.
Well, you could bring some edible refreshments. That's what the doors did.
Okay, I'll put that. Let me see. I put that on my list here.
Jeff in the chat says, "Who's going to start breweries on the air?" So now I've got a really, really bad idea in my head.
Oh,
this is what I need. Something else to do with my time.
And you start slurring the longer you're there.
Oh my gosh!
There's so many breweries now, just in PA, like in our area in PA. You'd never be able to activate.
You'd never be able to activate everything. Yeah.
Another one pops up like every week.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So, alrighty. Well, I think we are coming up on the hour. So, I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks y'all for hopping in the Zoom. And
it's good fun.
Thank y'all for being there. Another shout out again to the Glarg folks. Thank you for putting that together on such short notice for those Padawans. I appreciate it, and wish the other 13 of them luck tomorrow, because
good luck, kids.
A bunch of them taking it then. So
fun.
That's it. Anybody got parting last words? All right, y'all take care.
Subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. Make sure you go around and sub everybody that's in here. And
look for Pedro.
Radio Runner's in there also, so make sure you hit him as well. So y'all take care, and we hope to see you on